This episode of the Acts of Geekery podcast is brought to you by nothing. Absolutely nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Acts of Geekery podcast, episode 56.
About time.
Yeah, it's like not.
No, that's not the name of the episode. No, I'm just like, it's about time.
Yeah, it has been a little bit, hasn't it? It feels nice to be down in front of the mic again.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, we had a good Salt Lake Comic-Con.
That's true.
Yeah, so that kind of
in fact, so good it caused us not to be able to record an episode.
We kind of vegged the day after.
It's like a hangover. It's like a con hangover. A conover.
Yeah, a conover.
So, not Adam Conover, but
Adam. Who?
I don't know, but I hear that name all the time.
Really?
You should Google it and see if it's a real thing. I'm
gonna look up
Conover.
I'm gonna look this up while we get through the news.
Well, it seems we're at an impasse. How do you propose we settle this?
We have fight, but I pick venue.
Deal.
Round one, fight!
Go, go!
You lose.
Adam Conover is in the new hit show from True TV, Adam Ruins Everything, as well as the YouTube channel, I guess, group.
Yeah. College Humor.
College Humor.
They were long before YouTube. Oh, and by the way, I'm Scott.
Oh, and I'm Corey.
And we are so bad at this that we forgot to announce who we were.
It's been a while, okay?
Is there good news, at least, to make up for our terribleness?
Well, there's birthdays.
Well, that's
always
news.
Good news,
That's
right?
news, yes. That's definitely
That means people are still alive.
Yeah. Well, we don't like deaths. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam Schreiber is 48.
Okay.
He's Sabretooth.
That's weird because he doesn't really age. He's Sabretooth.
He looks pretty young still.
Okay.
Yeah. Melissa Benoist.
Our new Supergirl.
Yes, she's 27.
Speaking of which, this week, I think. Or
No.
Next week?
Next week.
Next week.
It's October
The
7th.
premiere.
Yeah.
So check that out.
Wait, is it October 7th? I don't remember.
Is it if it's
you
the
know
7th,
the last
if
episode
it's
we
the,
did, we had the list of all these.
If it's the 7th, it's
this week.
It's this week. Yeah.
But it's on the same.
That's the one we're already on. You just opened the same one.
Oh, jeez. It's on the same day as Gotham, I thought.
That would be a Monday then.
So let me make sure here.
Which would be the 5th?
I think it's actually late in October. Sorry.
Oh. Well, anyways, we've seen the pilot.
Yes.
And actually, we quite enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
October 26th.
Yep.
We're a ways off.
Yeah.
But
Arrows, October 7th.
It's coming out, so check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen the pilot already, and it's awesome.
It's pretty good.
I liked it a lot.
Surprisingly for a pilot episodes, you always have to kind of be a little wary of because they never, unfortunately, it's about episode 3 that you get a feel for how the series is going to go.
Yeah.
And
so,
that's why we always do our 3 episode
try it or leave it. Which, unfortunately, we didn't leave Gotham soon enough.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll talk about the shows that have come out in a little
quick
bit
review.
Here. Yeah.
Ezra Miller
is
23 years old.
And he looks like a doofus.
Really?
Yeah.
He's our new Spider-Man, right?
No, he's our new... Is he the new Spider-Man? I thought he was the new Flash. I thought he was the new Flash.
Flash for the movie Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ezra
okay, I think you're right.
Miller.
He's the Flash? He does not look like the Flash.
I know. Yeah, he's the Flash.
Oh, gosh. He better age. He's got 2 years to age.
Yeah.
3 years to age.
Because he's 23.
I know.
He's younger than I am.
He looks like he's 14.
Yeah,
he really does.
It looks like they're going to go with Wally West, Kid Flash for Justice League.
I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, well, kids like Wally West. That's fine.
Yeah, the young whippersnappers love the young whippersnappers, speedsters.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And Gwyneth Paltrow is timeless. She does not have an age, and it's rude to talk about a woman's age.
She's 43.
She's 43.
She gets so much flack from people.
I know. They don't really like her.
Someone told me it's because she's too perfect. And I said, well, first of all, no one's perfect.
Yeah.
Second of all, why would that matter?
Exactly.
If they're perfect, they're perfect.
That makes
you're
them
just
better.
jealous. You're just jealous.
Exactly. That's your own problem. That's not their problem.
And it was because she's a philanthropist. She's beautiful. She's a really good actress.
Yeah.
You know,
I think she named her daughter Apple, though.
Okay, that's odd.
Yeah.
At least didn't name her like Granny Smith.
Granny Smith Paltrow.
Come here, Golden Delicious. Come here. Alrighty.
All right. Because we missed the past couple weeks, some other ones of note that I remember off the top of my head. Kevin Sorbo.
Okay.
These are just like, don't know the age, just know.
He's a crazy conservative, like off the deep end right now.
Yeah, but he was still Hercules.
He was, but I have lost most respect for him because he has said some pretty horrid things about.
And isn't he like Admiral
homosexuals
Adama
and
something
stuff
like that?
No,
I'm just kidding
that's a
with you.
person.
No, he's in Andromeda too. But yeah, he's kind of off the deep end right now.
Hold on, give me your geek card because you're mixing Andromeda and Battlestar Galactica.
No, I know that. That was the joke. Trust me, that was intentional.
Okay,
I would not.
If you say
I would
so.
not sacrifice my geek card to try and get some obscure Andromeda character.
It's not that obscure. He's the main character.
It's Andromeda. Every character is obscure.
No, it's had 5 successful seasons.
Okay, fans, write in if you've ever heard of the show Andromeda before.
And you'll get no comments because no one writes in for anything.
Exactly. So I win. Nobody's ever heard of it before.
You don't win by default.
We need to decide who does win by default. Will Smith had his birthday. Mm-hmm. I think he said he was in his 50s.
I think, 50, 51.
Yeah. Anyway,
Which
Mark Hamill
he's timeless as
had
well.
his birthday as well.
He is not timeless.
No, but he's amazing.
Is he 60 something now?
He's in his late 60s.
Yeah. Oh, and apparently he almost quote died. And the thing was he was climbing up these like crazy steps to get to this weird temple wherever they're at.
Yeah.
And apparently it's like a tourist thing.
Yeah.
And quite a few people have slipped on those steps and fell down, basically down a mountain.
Wow.
On these steps, and he slipped and fell, but someone caught him before he just kept going. So I mean, he quote almost died. Mm-hmm. It'd be
but
different
even he was like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Like, relax.
I mean, Harrison Ford's plane crash was more scary.
Yeah.
Than that.
We could have lost Harrison Ford, Scott.
We could have lost our Han Solo.
Oh my gosh. And he's just getting back into the movies.
Yeah. Do
you think they'll have him for all 3, or do you think that he'll just be in the first one?
I don't know.
To pass it off.
I don't know. I could see him play Han forever. Yep. He could be in a wheelchair.
I'm getting way too old.
He could be in a wheelchair and have no teeth, and I would still watch him play Han Solo.
Chewie, we're home. Gummy, we're home.
Yeah, it's not Chewie anymore. It's Gummy. Anyone else you can remember the last couple weeks? I didn't see a lot.
There was a few others, but I can't remember. Some obscure ones.
Some TV actors and stuff, a couple of those.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get past the birthdays and get right into the regular news.
Okay. So let's start talking about Kevin Feige. Feige.
Okay.
So recently there were a lot of articles that came out about how he likes the idea of Rhonda Rousey as Captain Marvel.
I'm done. I'm out. See ya.
No, well, let me pull you back. Lasso of truth. Pull you back and tell you the truth. What's going on here?
Don't put the truth on me when Rhonda Rousey's on the line.
Yeah.
we won't be able to post the episode if I start going off about what I think, what I really think.
Uh-huh. Well, so I read the article because I thought to myself, that sounds stupid.
And you also said, this will piss Scott off.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to see what he actually had to say because a lot of these articles these days are just link bait. They just get you
to click it.
Yeah, to click it, and then their ads pop up, and you try and click past them as fast as you can so you can actually read what's going on.
Correct.
Kevin Feige said that he loves the idea of people campaigning for superheroes.
Right.
And not necessarily, but the question specifically was about Rhonda Rousey petitioning for Captain Marvel. And he goes, I love that idea. Yeah. I love the fact that these actors have such a desire to play these heroes.
I don't like the way he said, I love that idea. I think he should have said, I love the idea of actors campaigning for their heroes.
Exactly.
But the way he his comment was, I love that idea. And then, and that is what kind of set everyone off was, he really thinks that Ronda Rousey's good for the part.
But
guys, look.
Here's what he goes on to say.
He's smart enough to know that she is not a leading lady. Not even close.
Nope.
She hasn't even proven herself as a secondary role yet. And she played herself in a movie and was terrible at it.
Yeah.
So that kind of tells you how bad of an actress she is.
So here's what he goes on to say, though. He says, when we're casting for a lead Marvel character, we sit down with a bunch of people and have them talk about what they think of the character. And we talk with them about how the direction that the character should go.
Right.
And we find the best working person, the one who actually has like the most to say about that character, or like the most they kind of incorporate that character a lot. They don't just pick a random person like I'm sure Warner Brothers does. They're like, Ezra Miller, who the hell is that? We don't know. Make him the Flash.
Yeah. Oh, he's cheap. Make him the Flash.
Yeah. Not to discount Ezra Miller. I've never seen you in anything. You could be amazing.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. But that is a weird casting choice just right off the bat.
The other thing that he talked about, which I thought was kind of cool, was he says that we actually read anytime there's a fan list or there's comments on our Facebook page about, I really think that so-and-so should be this character. We look at that. We write it down, and then we mull it over later in the casting process and be like, here's all the fan choices. Here's what people love. Is that viable?
Yeah.
Is Charlize Theron viable for Captain Marvel?
Exactly.
You know, but look at some of the ones that have been picked that we've had no idea. I mean, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., he was toxic to any movie that he was on until after Iron Man.
He was absolutely unknown for us, at least, because he had been so toxic to movies.
Chris Hemsworth as Thor.
Out of left field for me.
I didn't even know the guy. I knew the guy from a little bit in Star Trek. That was it.
He had like 2 minutes in Star Trek.
Yeah. Chris Evans wasn't a very big shock.
Yes, it was, because he was the Human Torch already. And everybody went, the Human Torch? You want the guy who played the jokester to be Captain America?
He was already, though, a fairly talented and fairly popular actor. He had been in quite a few things.
He'd been in a few things.
But I'm talking like Mark Ruffalo. He'd been in stuff, but nothing that geeks had watched.
And that's the thing is they like to pick people that people aren't expecting.
Yeah.
There's a few movies where they're like, hey, we're going to pick this character, and it's going to be Zoe Saldana. Like Zoe Saldana as Gamora, I was like, yeah, I can see why they would do that.
Yeah.
You know.
Chris Pratt, though. There's another one. Yeah. Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd. Yeah.
I
knew comedic actor Paul Rudd. Would you like to be a superhero? Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like seriously.
But I mean, then there's the ones that they're perfect casting and we know, and like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Yep.
And
not really Marvel, but okay.
Deadpool's not really Marvel.
Not really Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay, good. You clarified. Because I was going to say, what we're just talking about.
Yeah, I know.
In general.
Yeah, but we're talking specifically about Marvel's casting choices for their Cinematic Universe. And so far, the only one that seems to me like completely okay, or like completely expected, quote unquote, is Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. Okay. He's the one that I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I also heard, and I don't know how rumory this is, that they changed up Black Panther again to a different person.
What? No.
Casting. I didn't see any news on it, but I heard it from a friend, and this friend also believes in healing crystals. So,
nope.
Who knows?
Well, so here's the thing is, somebody may have seen a stunt double on set in the Black Panther outfit, and they were like, they changed the actor.
The only thing I had to say about when we were talking about Black Panther while I was at work was I hope that he never takes his mask off. Because in the comics and stuff, he rarely ever reveals his face.
The Black Panther.
He's always the Black Panther.
Yeah, even
all
when
the time.
Like everybody knows his real name, but even when he's just like sitting on his throne, he's in his Black Panther outfit.
Do a new style Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
The mask never comes off, and the actor gets to portray the perfect character. Yep. Don't pull an old school Judge Dredd.
So for those of you who are in the Ronda Rousey camp, we would love to hear why.
Why?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
can you give us any arguments as to why? And her being a fighter is not an argument.
Yep. And Dave Bautista is not an argument either. That was lucky. Like that's
That
what
was
everybody brings up. Like,
left
Dave
field.
Batista as Drax. That was out of left field, and
Here's
Marvel
the thing,
did it
though.
right.
Same with The Rock. They're actors before they're professional wrestlers.
Exactly.
The whole part of professional wrestling, they go to acting classes so that they can act their persona.
Exactly. And
So-
Rhonda Rousey is not in wrestling. She's a full-on fighter. That's what she does.
And so her being a fighter doesn't mean anything. She's not going to actually fight in the movie. It's all choreography. It's all stunt doubles. It's all... Yeah. You know what? She knows how to throw a punch. But guess what? So can anyone if you have someone directing them and telling them what to do.
Movie magic.
Ooh, yeah. Special effects.
I think what people are kind of focusing on is Captain Marvel's looks.
And she's not even the best for that. Katie Sackhoff.
Yeah.
Yvonne Strahovski. They all look
If you're
way
going
better.
if you're going strictly off looks and you don't care about acting
Emily
talent,
Blunt.
any of those.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah.
Just please let
Again,
us, give us,
we can go for hours on this.
We can. We
And
really
have
can.
on the line actually multiple times. I've told people, what? Why?
this doesn't make
There's
sense.
no real argument for it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, let's move on. There's a Doctor Who spinoff in the works.
Another one.
Yeah, not
Torchwood.
not Torchwood, not a new Torchwood. It's called Class,
Okay.
as in the Doctor has class. No, so apparently what it's supposed to be is sort of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like a British school that has monsters in it type TV show. And yeah, I mean that sounds okay to me.
All right, we'll see. Torchwood apparently was good. I watched a few episodes on what didn't really hook me, but I wasn't really into Doctor Who
Yeah,
back then,
exactly.
so I didn't know much about it, and I had no clue what the heck was going on. Who were
Yeah.
these characters? How come Jack Harkness was an immortal? Like,
Yeah.
where did that come from?
Yeah,
So this one may be good, and the diehard Whovians and the Doctor Who fans out there will probably like it.
Yeah.
Probably eat it up, which is cool. Good
Yeah.
for them.
As long as it has Doctor Who references in it.
Yeah, or characters.
So that means
from
like
the show.
Daleks every 3 episodes.
Oh, jeez.
HBO is in initial talks for a Watchmen series.
I saw this. I was going to ask your opinion on it.
I'm not really sure yet.
So the movie, and I may be the only person with this opinion, is damn near perfect compared to the comic.
Yeah, it is the close. I would say it is the closest adaptation
Of any comic book
of
movie.
any comic book movie.
300
is also up there.
Even then, there was a lot of stuff that was changed though for it. However, Watchmen was so close to the comic that there were only, as far as I can tell, there was only like 2 or 3 things, and they weren't even that major of things that were changed.
There's some that were removed, some that were changed.
Well,
I mean,
you have to cut out some.
And we'll talk about this when we get to The Martian too.
Yeah, okay.
About how you have to change it. Like there's no way to do a book as a movie straight up.
Right. But the Watchmen is near perfect as far as superhero movies go.
Yeah.
As adaptations. I'm not saying it's like the best superhero movie. It is great. I love it. I love it. And if you don't, let us know, obviously. We'd love to talk to you about it. But there have been a lot of controversy, a lot of flack about the Watchmen prequel series.
Yeah, before Watchmen.
The
stuff.
before Watchmen stuff that
And
came
you
out.
actually got a bunch of
I
those.
did.
Didn't
I
you?
read all of them.
And were they great? Were they good?
They were okay.
Yeah,
They were okay, but they were.
You could tell they were trying to be Watchmen.
It was real. They were trying really hard to be it, and they just fallen a little bit short.
Darn it.
So, but they were all right, And the thing is, what I would love to see, instead of a Watchmen series, make it a Minutemen series, which is the group pre-Watchmen, where there's just enough history in the comics to get them going. Sally Jupiter, the original Night Owl. You've got Hooded Justice, a couple other people. Silk's, what's her name? The Night Nurse, I think. Is what the lesbian girl.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, the nurse lady.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And a couple of those, plus the comedian
Nightingale.
Nightingale. That's
Yes.
right. And make a series about them.
That would be cool.
1950s noir. Not that, because Watchmen's 70s.
You say that, and I get like salivating.
I know. You're like,
it's like my Pavlov's dog.
Oh lordy.
Oh dear. Oh
Yeah.
my.
Yeah. So you're set in the 1950s. You've got this pre-Watchmen group where
They're going out and fighting gangs,
they're
basically.
they're just starting out, and they're going out and fighting gangs, and it's crime and corruption. Make it what Gotham isn't.
Dollar Bill.
Yeah,
Mothman. Oh, gee.
I mean, and they're goofy and weird, but that was the 1950s,
and you know exactly what's going to happen to him too.
Yeah,
like they talk about what happens to people. I think Hooded Justice gets lynched or something in the South.
Yeah, I think so.
Mothman gets put into like an insane asylum.
Mm-hmm. Dollar Bill gets shot down in a bank.
Because he goes through the revolving door and
his cape cuts.
No capes.
No capes, exactly.
And Nightingale gets murdered in her bed with her lover.
But that brings up a point. Do something like that, where you've got old school characters set in an older time period. Where there's a little bit of history, but you can flesh it all out. Don't turn into Gotham.
Okay, let's talk about Gotham.
Okay, let's talk about Gotham.
It's had 2 episodes so far.
Yep.
We've only seen the first one.
Yes.
And that's because we kind of got through it and we didn't really...
I was bored.
Yeah, I was.
The whole time. I sat and played on my phone the entire time, and not for lack of trying.
No.
I have tried a whole season before.
Yeah.
I've tried a season after. My problem with Gotham is they don't seem to know what they want.
Yeah.
The characters will act one way one time and then completely change the next time they're doing something.
Exactly. And that's a problem with the writing.
Gordon, exactly. Gordon is supposed to be this law-abiding, upholding character, and he has done nothing to advance his position that was in the law.
Yeah.
It has all been behind the scenes and double dealing and things like that.
Yeah.
The real Jim Gordon wouldn't do. So I have a problem with that. I have a problem with the way they've written characters like Bruce and stuff as a kid. Alfred's not too bad.
No, Alfred's pretty close.
He's a little bit more gruff than I expect, but it's okay. I don't like what they're doing with the Riddler.
I don't like what they're doing with the Joker, and that's the point that I want to bring up. They are trying to shove this Jerome as the Joker down our throats.
Yeah.
And it's bugging me. It is just bugging me how, all the other characters are sort of those characters.
Yeah.
The Riddler enjoys riddles.
Right.
But he doesn't, leave clues or anything like that.
Now he's a schizophrenic that talks to himself in the mirror, and I'm like, the Riddler's never done that.
No.
He's crazy. They're all a little crazy, but he's crazy in the way that he wants to put people through puzzles, and he doesn't think that anyone's smart enough to,
Exactly,
He's testing
He's
people.
condescending is what he is.
Yeah.
But every other character is slightly like the character,
right?
Including the heroes, which is what you talked about, where you don't want... That's not what Jim Gordon is. That's not who Bruce Wayne is.
Right.
Except for Jerome, who they're trying to make out to be the crazy Heath Ledger Joker. They're even giving him, you can see that they're go watch The Dark Knight 5 times.
Yeah.
And get the mannerisms down.
Yep.
Because he does the hand movements, he does the smiles and the head tilt and everything.
They are trying to shoehorn Barbara Gordon, or Barbara, whatever her name is, Keene, pre Jim Gordon, which I don't think they'll ever get married.
No, he's going to name his kid after her.
Which is why she's crazy.
I think it's going to be a redemption thing. It's got to be.
Or you think she's going to die.
Yeah.
She might die. But they're trying to shoehorn her in as some, villain mastermind that teams up with all these other Arkham villains. No, come on. First of all, I don't really think the girl that plays her is a very good actress.
No.
I don't feel captivated. I'm glad that Fish Mooney's gone, because that character... I hated that character.
But it was better than what they've got going on so far.
Yeah. The Penguin. Someone brought up a point that these might be pre-Batman villains. So they are the Joker, the Riddler, the Penguin, Catwoman, etc.
Yeah.
Well, not Catwoman, because Selina's the same age as Bruce, but all these ones that are 15, 20 years older than Bruce, they retire and someone else picks up the mantle when Batman is actually around. And I was like, that's a good way, but that's a good hand-wavy way to be oh,
it's okay. We can show young Bruce and
I don't know.
these bad guys.
I have a hard time with it. I'm having trouble caring about watching it.
I am too. Unfortunately, so my wife loves this show. She loved the first season, and even after the first episode, she's kind of it wasn't that good.
It's gone off the rails.
Yeah.
It went off the rails about halfway through the first season. It stopped being a crime drama with Jim rising through the ranks.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to watch. I didn't want to watch Batman villains that aren't supposed to be that age that Jim has to deal with. No, let's make up some new ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's make up some new ones, and let's show a little kid that kind of has pale skin and slicked back hair, just a little bit, and he's like 5, or he's 10, and he's watching on TV, and he's like, hey, that guy's kind of cool.
Yeah, all
and
right.
it's and it's a guy wearing a clown mask. Fine. But that's it. But that's all you show of him. They get their inspiration. So speaking of Gotham, 2 of the leading roles, Ben McKenzie, which plays Jim Gordon, and Miranda Baccarin,
which plays Leslie Tompkins.
She's like the medical examiner. They are getting married.
Yay!
And they're having a baby together.
Yay!
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. I mean, if they found love, great.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So we talked about Gotham. You want to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 1 really quick?
Okay. So Lash was introduced. He's kind of the new big bad guy for this season. He's going around and killing all the Inhumans.
Yeah, he's going around and finding them.
And do we know why?
So Lash has always been in the comics because he's a new villain that was introduced in the Inhuman comics. And he's always been this, not everybody deserves inhumanity, like to go through the Terrigen.
Yeah.
Because the idea behind his tribe is that only those who are strongest are picked to undergo Terrigenesis.
Yeah, survival of the fittest style
exactly.
stuff. Okay.
And so when the Terrigen bomb blows up in the comics, he goes around to people in cocoons, in their Inhuman cocoons, and when they come out, if they're strong, he takes them to his group.
That's right.
If they're weak, he kills them.
I remember now.
And it's not so much an absorb their power type thing as it is he just kills them outright.
Yeah.
So it's basically he's going around and killing the unworthy Inhumans that got their powers outside of Inhuman culture, basically.
So he's introduced. It is terrible TV makeup. That's the only way I can explain it. I'm not saying it's really bad. I'm just saying it's basically Klingon-esque.
It is
what it is.
It is
They've
very
got
Klingon-esque.
the dreadlock style hair. They've got a lot of like bony ridge on his forehead.
And Lash looks so cool in the comics.
Yeah, because he's got these huge spikes going all the way down his back.
It's like spike hair, and
it's hard to do.
Yeah, it's really hard to do. So that was a little. I mean, we laughed at it. My wife more than most people.
Yeah,
she couldn't stop laughing whenever she saw him. He has like an Inhuman mullet.
Kinda, yeah.
In my opinion, Inhuman in the front, party.
We get to see a little bit of the aftermath from Age of Ultron.
Yes,
and it's more just they just kind of mention Sokovia.
Yeah, they talk about. I mean, there's always the references in there about Ultron and everything like that, and they reference Ant-Man at one point and the Pym tech problems.
Simmons is gone.
Yes,
still. We don't know where.
Yeah,
apparently on another planet.
I think she's in the negative zone.
I have a feeling that would be cool, but I have a feeling she just got teleported to another planet across the universe.
Yeah,
across the galaxy at least.
So she gets picked up by a raccoon in a talking tree.
Oh, don't do that for TV. It'd be like Groot's in cardboard.
Yep,
the guy will be like dressed in cardboard to do it.
I am Groot. You don't sound like Vin Diesel.
Yeah,
I am Groot. The one guy who can only say it the one way. I think Fitz had the best moments of the entire episode.
Yeah, Fitz goes kind of out in the field, does some stuff. He seems the most upset about Simmons being gone.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously he's in love with her, but we get to see Daisy.
She's calling herself Daisy now.
She's kind of grown into her powers, and so she goes out and rescues Inhumans that pop up.
Yep,
and uses her powers on people and things and stuff. So which was kind of cool because I've been wanting to see people with powers for years,
and we always talked about how nobody wants to see the real humans in the Marvel universe.
Yeah,
people want to see.
But I would give it a solid 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5.
Too. Yeah,
I'd give a Gotham like a 1.5, maybe a 2.
Yeah,
I'm not enthralled with it anymore.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how it goes. I know I'm going to continue watching just because my wife is still going to want to watch it.
Speaking of humans,
Yeah.
what happens after Sky or Daisy comes in and destroys the building?
So you call damage control. And I will point out that damage control is not all humans.
Right.
There are superhumans out there that work for a company called Damage Control who basically, if your building gets destroyed, they rebuild it. If you lose, or if there's some ray gun lying on the ground, they're the ones who return it to who it needs to be returned to.
Right.
If you lose like a prized parrot, they're the ones who find it for you.
Yeah.
Like that was literally one of the things when they're talking about the series that is now in development at ABC or is in talks. So ABC is going to come out with a comedy Marvel series called Damage Control. And I hope that they have a few people who just have slight super strength in there, easy to do, but still super powered and everything, and make a show about these people trying to help people get over these tragedies and these disasters that happen.
Yeah, someone that has super strength, someone that's got maybe a little telekinesis.
Yeah.
They're people that actually, maybe someone that can read minds, because that's really easy to do on TV,
Mind reading. Well, I was going to point that out about Daisy's powers. They're super easy to do on TV.
Yeah.
You just get people in wire suits and then have her hold her hand out because it's all invisible concussion.
Yep.
But yeah, so I'm excited. I think a Damage Control series is great.
I would love a comedy version. I would love it if it's comedy, like you said, because the MCU is getting really serious.
Yeah.
We need something a la Ant-Man, which is more comedic.
Yeah, something that can alleviate.
The world is going to end, and it's. I don't want Damage Control to turn into a big bad villain that they have to be watching out for.
Yeah.
I want them to just do the comedy stuff.
To be like an office comedy show.
Yeah. Maybe not with the interview style stuff, but Community.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Kind of like Community was. That kind of thing. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, let's talk about things that aren't funny.
We've got quite a few of those on this list
Yeah,
today.
there's
Wow.
a lot of like crappy stuff. Hasbro came out.
By the way, that's crappy our opinions. You may disagree, and we'd love to hear why.
Yeah.
So that's actsofgeekery@gmail.com, facebook.com/actsofgeekery, @actsofgeekery using the hashtag actsofgeekery, or on our YouTube channel, Acts of Geekery.
Oh, those are ACTS, not
AXE.
AXE. All right, until next time, folks.
I'm trying to throw that in there part of the way through the...
all right, all right. So, all right. Sorry, you confused me. I was like, are we done? Do you
Nope,
need to
we're
go?
not done.
Okay. So Hasbro came out. There's a fly. Hold on. Yeah, sorry.
All of a sudden, Corey starts flipping his hands everywhere. And I'm like, is this a signal for, like, rewind? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on.
Hasbro.
Hasbro has confirmed Transformers 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Well, so I have lost interest in Transformers since the second one.
Yeah.
I've seen the second one. I saw the third one. I did not see the fourth one.
So,
right? Fourth one. Yes.
Yeah.
Fourth one.
So in my opinion, any franchise that starts getting as many movies as The Land Before Time, I no longer want
How
to
many
see.
of these are going to go straight to DVD or straight to Blu-ray?
Hopefully all of them.
Well, okay. So there are two ways that this can go down. They're going to be just as terrible as the others, and they're going to have 5, maybe 6. They'll gain some money. Hopefully, if they're bad, people stop going to them.
Yeah.
And they stop caring, and they start, and then it can be eventually be rebooted, and then we can have an awesome
regular Transformers.
We can have Ridley Scott do it. We can have J.J. Abrams do it. We can have something awesome like that.
You know, somebody good, not Michael Bay.
Yeah, he's not good.
You were really harsh on Michael Bay last night as we were talking about this.
The very first movie.
What was the word? No. What was the word you used? I hope he dies and he explodes when he dies. I think.
No, I said I hope he gets hit by a bus, and then when he gets hit by the bus, he explodes because everything he does otherwise explodes. There's all explosions.
Yeah.
I don't really wish death on someone. It's a joke, guys. But I wish that he would stop directing stuff.
I
can
wish
say
that his
serious.
career would explode.
His career should explode. His career should be hit by a bus and then explode. The first Transformers was decent, but that also had Steven Spielberg kind of reining Michael Bay
and that's
in.
exactly what we said. Like when we're like, "Oh yeah, that's a great movie." probably because Spielberg's there.
Right. 2 went way off the rails, wow, I don't have anything good to say about it, other than maybe the visuals.
To be honest, I really can't remember much except for the robot ball joke.
And the robots humping and the racist robots.
And that's really all you can remember. And that's the kind of crap that Michael Bay has done forever, is this kind of stupid, childish crap like he's still in high school.
So we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. If they get a new director, which apparently they probably will.
I heard he was...
probably done.
Done.
If they get a new director, we might actually see a Transformers that is good.
Yeah, on Cybertron maybe.
That would be awesome. What the new director should do is make a story, i.e. on Cybertron. It is all Transformers. There are no humans involved whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, we want to see Transformers. We don't want to see the humans that they fight over. And we don't want to see Shia LaBeouf yelling, no, all the time.
Oh, jeez.
And if the director's good, he won't mention anything about the old ones.
Nope.
It'll be almost a reboot. And they'll just name it like Transformers Cybertron.
Yeah.
You know, Transformers, the Bolt War, the Gear Wars.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Gear Wars.
Something Gear like Wars. That. So
I think Rick and Morty has the Gear Wars already.
Well, but you know what I mean. Something like that is a pseudo reboot. It is new. It's a new director.
No, I agree with you.
They bring in some fan favorites from the cartoon series. You know, you see Starscream, you see Megatron. You actually get to see the real them, not the bait up versions of them.
Yeah, just the get them, you fools.
You know, I want to see that. I want to maybe Unicron. Maybe a Unicron story.
How about the Quintessons?
Yeah, okay.
How about a story with these five-faced aliens?
Way obscure reference there, Corey.
Oh my gosh! Well, it's the same one as Unicron.
I know, but to know what they are, you've had to have known some of the lore behind
that's true,
it.
Yeah,
but still, let's do some of that. Let's maybe even get rid of Optimus Prime. Let's do the whole death of Optimus Prime storyline. Let's start off with Magnus Prime.
Yeah, Ultra Magnus and Rodimus Prime.
Like, why not? Why not?
Freaking Cup. Can we get Cup already?
Yes, please. Can we get Cup?
Okay, for people who don't know what we're talking about, because they're only exposed to the Michael Bay, go back and watch the 1986 Transformers the movie.
Yep.
Fantastic.
The best Transformers movie so far.
It is amazing. And
we also see it through ruby-colored lenses just because we love it. But as far as like quality to the original comics, because I mean that's where Transformers came from, comic books. It was a comic. It was not a. Yeah. Then they made the animated TV show, which, let's face it, you go watch that and it's pretty bad.
70s and 80s animated TV shows are terrible.
Pretty bad. But
I'm sorry.
The 1986.
I'm sorry to all the Scooby-Doo and He-Man fans out there. But you're just sitting there. You can run at me all you want. It'll just be the same background over and over, and you won't get any closer.
Yep. So we've got Transformers 5, 6, 7, and 8. Guaranteed they'll probably make gobs of money.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're good, especially in China. China loves the Transformers.
They really do.
I mean,
China just loves their giant robots.
Oh, I know. We can talk. Let's talk about that. There's actually one coming out.
Ultraman.
Yes. It's from an old cartoon series.
Yeah, it's an old cartoon. You've probably seen the giant robot Ultraman. He's got like a fin on his head. He crosses his arms and a laser blast comes out.
Yeah.
Like if it sounds at all familiar, you've seen him at least on.
And they had an old live action TV show of him too.
Yeah.
Where they destroyed cardboard sets. And
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah. But it looked like we saw a trailer for a movie.
I think it's a movie. I think it's from Chinese cinema.
Yeah, it's like a Chinese cinema or a Japanese cinema. It's probably Japanese.
Oh,
actually.
maybe, yeah.
Now that we're talking, we're so bad at Asians.
I don't know where stuff originated from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ninjas and samurai, both from Japan.
Really? Mm-hmm. Ninjas too? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well,
so what's from China? Mongols and
a wall. Fireworks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think fireworks started in
that makes
China.
sense. But yeah, I mean, there's some giant robot stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that trailer, we can talk about a little bit in the trailers.
I don't have it in the trailers, so
okay,
it's not a big deal.
go look up the Ultraman 2016 trailer.
It's a little weird.
But it kind of looks cool.
Like,
Is that
it
weird?
Kind of look cool,
like,
yeah.
It looks a little cheesy, but it looks like that good kind of cheese. The kind of cheese that you want your microphone to smell like.
I know. I'm so close to it. I want it to smell something good.
Yeah.
Maybe I should hit it with like a little Febreze or something.
Fracheeze. A little Fracheeze.
A little Fracheeze. Put some. What's the cheese in the can? Easy cheese. I'll put some easy cheese on it.
Okay, enough talking about food. I'm getting too hungry. Let's talk about Kingsman. Secret Service.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It is.
And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's a Best Buy movie this year, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is coming from somebody who loves The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and who loves Spy and who is all right with Mission Impossible and
don't know
Spectre
yet.
may be okay.
Don't know yet about Spectre. It's coming out in November.
I kind of know about Spectre.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. It could be.
Anyway.
It could be jump to your top of the list.
Yeah.
You never know.
Who knows? But why are we talking about Kingsman? Because the sequel has been like talked about as soon as the movie came out. Like people were not expecting it to do as good as it did.
Yeah. It was way out of left field.
Mm-hmm. But apparently the sequel begins shooting in 2016, April of 2016 now.
Which means it'll be probably 2017 before it's out. Actually, no, it's a live action deal with not a lot of CG. It might come out at the end of 2016 if they.
I think we'll see it 2017
because they can shoot a movie in like 4 months now.
Yeah, true.
So it's a lot of the time is all that post processing.
Yeah.
Getting the CG done, and stuff
Okay.
like that. So Kingsman 2, April 2016. That's awesome. Very exciting.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about a true hero. A true hero for comics.
Okay. 2 of them actually.
3.
2?
3.
3.
We'll talk about Ryan Reynolds first.
I don't know if I'd call
A
him
true hero.
I don't know if I'd call him a true hero.
I kind of threw you for the loop there. No, Ryan Reynolds admits to stealing a Deadpool costume from the Deadpool set.
Yay!
That's a true hero in my book.
That just means that he's the perfect Deadpool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's probably wearing that at home all the time.
Why not?
I would.
He probably like showers in it and stuff. Oh,
I want to see that in the movie.
I was just going to say, I hope there's a scene where Deadpool's showering.
But he's showering in costume.
And he's in costume. and he's all soaped up too. Like full on like soap lather.
He's got the shower cap on.
Yeah. A little brush on a handle, rubber ducky, a loofah. Maybe a loofah.
Loofah.
Yep.
Deadpool would use the loofah.
Yeah, and he's in there and make it so that it's a scene where he's in someone's apartment, like a bad guy's apartment, and the bad guy comes in and hears someone in there like singing in the shower. And they
in like a very girly voice.
They open it up and he screams, lifts one leg and covers himself in his suit, and then kills him.
Yep.
That is Deadpool to me right there.
That is exactly who Deadpool is.
But he stole a suit, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they don't give actors their costumes.
Well, they take him anyway.
Well, yeah.
Like Chris Pratt took a Star-Lord costume.
Yep. And what's his name? Nathan Fillion has probably a couple Malcolm Reynolds costumes.
I know that Robert Downey Jr. has a lot of Iron Man paraphernalia that wasn't.
Well, they asked him. They asked him, "Oh, did they give you some?" And he's like, "Not exactly.
Not exactly.
But I've got it." So there's actually some away from Ryan Reynolds. There are actually some real life superheroes out. The first one is a man in a Spider-Man costume. Rescued a couple from a burning car.
Yeah.
It was Lucy Day of Eastbourne. I don't know. They didn't say what city or anything.
Eastbourne sounds like rescued a pregnant woman and her partner. Yeah, I think this is like Britain. Eastbourne sounds like something in London.
So, anyways, Lucy Day was driving her partner, Stephen Grant, to the hospital after he had accidentally cut his finger off with a lawnmower when the car suddenly burst into flames.
I'm sorry. I know this is tragic and everything, but that's just like...
It's not tragic. They survived.
Okay, good.
It's fine.
So they're driving along, and then all of a sudden, like, the car just...
catches on
What
fire.
is this, a Michael Bay movie?
Michael Bay jumped in front of the car and exploded. Anyways,
so they were traveling with their 3-year-old and were stranded on the roadside. But children's entertainer Tom Roche, or Roosh,
probably Roche,
yeah, was on his way to a child's birthday party in a Spider-Man suit when he saw that the car was on fire and there were people inside, and pulled all of them out to safety.
Yep. And so he got them out of the car and obviously probably drove them to the hospital as well. So, yay, real life superhero.
Good job.
There's another guy.
Yeah.
The Black Phoenix, as Corey likes to call him.
No, his name is Phoenix Jones. And the reason why I knew it was Phoenix, but he is an African American, and my brain couldn't remember the Jones part.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
And then he said maybe it's the Purple Phoenix. I don't
Phoenix.
know. Because that's his purple costume.
Because Phoenix Jones doesn't sound like a superhero. It sounds like a entertainer.
Yeah. Anyway,
ladies and gentlemen, opening tonight for Celine Dion, it's Phoenix Jones.
But he stopped an attempted murder in progress.
Yeah, good job.
So he's kind of like a self-proclaimed vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
He saw that someone was getting mugged and or had a gun pointed to him, and he ran at them, punched them, and popped the gun out of his hand.
Yeah.
And he says the only scary part was the guy didn't actually get knocked out on the first hit.
Oh, jeez. That's not how it happens in the shows.
So he kept the suspects cornered until the police showed up and took over. So I've been reading some books about superheroes, and they do a lot of this kind of stuff where they assist the police. They're not actually, they have no law ability. They cannot enforce the law themselves. Yeah. But they can assist the police where needed. Mm-hmm. You know, they're mainly like disaster cleanup and like rescue people that are in burning buildings and things like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like apprehending criminals, they can't. So he's kind of got the right idea. He just kind of like kept them there until the police showed up, and then they arrested them. So like, good on you, Phoenix. Awesome. Keep doing it. Hopefully you don't go crazy and start actually like shooting criminals and stuff.
Yeah, because
that would be bad, and then the police would have to come after you for murder.
Yeah, so we have a few of these now. We have Phoenix Jones. We have I think they're called the Red Band Society.
Okay.
In Salt Lake, they're actually a group of superheroes that kind of go around the streets and make sure people are safe and everything.
Okay.
Is it the Red Band? I can't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. And then we have the Batman of England, or whatever he's called, you know, the Batman of Birmingham or something like that. But he's this Batman looking vigilante that helps people from muggers and everything like that.
Okay, cool.
And I don't know. Like, so in comics, you always see the superheroes, and then you see like the montage of people talking about superheroes and whether or not they're actually doing good work. And that's basically what we are right now, is we're talking about them. And I'm not really sure if I can look at these vigilantes and go, you know, good job, you're doing great work. Keep fighting crime that the police can't handle and stuff.
I give them benefit of a doubt.
Okay.
They are innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not saying like they need to go to court. I'm saying they are doing good until they do something bad.
Exactly.
The minute that they actually like murder someone because they think that they're above the law, or they think that they're doing what's right,
I am the law.
They need to just do, you know, citizen arrest style stuff, and hopefully they don't get hurt.
Yeah.
So like they stop muggings, they stop robberies, they assist the police by maybe they go and track down where this person lives, and they put in an anonymous tip, that kind of stuff. That's cool.
I think that's the crux of it, is I want these people to actually be a little bit more about, you know, making sure humanity is safe rather than stopping crime and fighting bad guys.
Okay. Yeah.
And so like helping people in burning buildings, or, you know, going in costume to help with disaster relief, that kind of stuff. And I love seeing that in comic books too, when Wonder Woman and Superman are carrying crates to Africa, or, you know, or one of the latest I was reading, The Future's End. I'm catching up on my backlog. And Firestorm is actually like helping kids get back to their homes, and she's doing this by turning. This is a female Firestorm, by the way. She's turning cars into like Dumbo elephants from the Dumbo ride, and basically like flying them back home.
Oh, okay, cool.
And she comments about how I like doing this a lot more than I like fighting bad guys, and that's how I kind of think these these real life superheroes need to be.
Yeah.
They need to show that they're about helping people, not just in it for the violence and everything.
Right.
So, but good job, Purple Phoenix, Phoenix Jones, and Roche, Mr. Roche. Yeah.
Yes.
For your good hard work.
Keep being superb, upstanding citizens, great human beings. That's awesome.
Yep. So you want to talk about upstanding humans some more, or should we just move on to Nick Cage?
Let's just move on to Nick Cage.
Okay. He's fine. He's just a little crazy.
I don't hate him.
Yeah.
I get a lot of flack for it.
So
I like a lot of movies that he's in.
Would you have liked him in Lord of the Rings?
I don't know. He
So-
could have been great. Could have been terrible.
He turned down the role of Aragorn in Lord of the Rings. He came out and said that he was up for it, but there was some scheduling conflicts.
Well, that would have
and
been
he had to turn it
one less death for Sean Bean.
down. Yeah. No, Aragorn.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, not
Sean Bean
Boromir.
still died.
His career died in the movie we just saw him in. Not his acting career, but his character's career.
Oh, his character.
Yeah.
That's true. So I guess it's a pseudo death.
It's a pseudo death.
So he's been killed 217 and a half times.
and a half. And one half.
Although he was a alien bee person in Jupiter Ascending that he didn't die in.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
So Guillermo del Toro says that Pacific Rim 2 is postponed, not canceled, but Legendary's taken it off of their schedule.
That's unfortunate.
It's postponed like that bad, and that's unfortunate. But del Toro says that he wants Maisie Williams to be in Pacific Rim 2 and to pilot a Jaeger.
And if you don't know who Maisie Williams is,
she is
HBO,
Arya Stark,
Game of Thrones.
Yep, the littlest female Stark, basically.
The little assassin that everyone loves.
Yep. And I would not mind seeing her piloting a Jaeger.
Yeah, okay. Or whatever she's doing. She's, so far, everything she's done, I like her in.
Yeah.
Which so far is one thing. I don't know of anything. I don't know what else she's done, so.
But she's been pretty new.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's move on to the casting couch. We have one for TV with, do you want to try and say that name? Stephanie
I can...
Corneliuson?
Yeah.
Corneliuson? Okay.
Yeah.
Has been cast as Valentina Vosk in Legends of Tomorrow. Vostok?
Yeah, which is Russian.
Oh, sorry.
She's a Russian...
she looks kind of nice.
She is a very, very attractive woman.
She looks like a young Angelina Jolie.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. She's actually right now in Mr. Robot.
Oh, okay.
She is a wife of one of the main characters.
Okay.
And she is foreign in that, too. She's Russian or Yugoslavian or something. But she has that Eastern European look and stuff to her, and she's actually really good at that role. But she's been cast to play the Valentine Vostok or whatever, and
AKA
Negative Woman.
Yeah.
Which I don't know much about her from the comics. I looked her up a little and I didn't know, but it's going to be
I think she's part of the Doom Patrol.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
It's going to be in the Legends of Tomorrow or TV show.
So I'm excited for that show but it kind of feels like it's eventually going to be the dumping place for all of the DC shows. Like the landfill for superheroes. Basically, you have a character that people really like, they back that truck up and they dump them into Legends of Tomorrow.
So someone said something, and I don't know if this is true or not. I was reading it online that the way they're going to do their series is they're going to be like 3-episode story arcs.
Oh, okay.
With an overlying theme of Vandal Savage or whoever the big bad guy is for whatever. But it's going to be like in this first few, it's going to be like the Atom.
Okay.
Firestorm, and who else is with them? I can't remember who else.
Are you sure it's Firestorm?
But you know what I mean, like, or
I thought
Hot
it was
Girl,
Heatwave and Captain Cold.
Heatwave. No. It's Captain Cold in the Atom.
I thought Heatwave was in there too.
Well,
I saw
anyways, it's going to be a few of them doing story arc stuff, and it's going to be a lot of time hopping things.
Okay.
Apparently, because Rip Hunter's time traveler, and for Vandal Savage, he's immortal, so you got to go and stop stuff that he's doing all through time.
I'm okay with that.
And so they're going to do that, and the next 3 might be like
Hawkman and Hawkgirl,
or Booster Gold and Blue Beetle.
Oh my gosh!
By the way, fan pick for Booster Gold, Nathan Fillion. I know that everyone loves him for Green Lantern. I do too. But because of his age, you don't like him for Green Lantern.
I don't like him for Booster Gold either.
Why?
Because of his age.
Booster Gold is 40-something
in
the comics. Oh, yeah.
I thought he was in his 20s.
He's 40-something, and he gets his powers from his suit. He doesn't have powers.
Okay.
He relies on his tech and his wits.
And Skeets.
His wittiness and Skeets, his little robot.
Yep.
So I would love a Booster Gold, Blue Beetle storyline
awesome.
or story arc. And it'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I hope the show does amazingly.
I hope so too. But again, my only worry is that it's going to be the dump for characters that people like, but they can't include in Flash and Arrow.
What's wrong with that though? Because at
least screen time.
But then at least they get on TV.
Yeah.
At least you get to see them on TV at one point.
Okay. All right.
Where normally you wouldn't have.
Yeah. I'll be all right. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure I'm going to be happy with it. And then finally, Jeremy Irons, and
which is Steel from DC Comics,
you're
right?
Thinking John Henry Irons.
Oh, that's what every time I see Jeremy Irons, that's what I think.
No,
all the time.
he wants you to be prepared.
Oh, okay.
He's Scar, right. And he's also our new Alfred.
Yes.
Yeah, and Brendan Gleeson, who is Mad Eye Moody in Harry Potter.
Okay.
Have been cast in the Assassin's Creed movie.
Yeah. Which alongside, I don't know if we talked about this, Michael Fassbender is kind of like the leading. He is Ezio or Fazio or Fabio or whatever the heck the guy's name is going to be.
I don't think they're going with Ezio.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the Assassin's Creed lore. Other than it's like historic
aliens,
DNA. Something.
It's really confusing.
It's a little weird, but. Okay, cool.
But I think
That's
I know.
Right. He is the new Jeremy Irons is the new Alfred, huh?
Yes.
In Batman v Superman. Cool.
He looks like old Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, all right.
Okay, let's actually. This is going to be a surprise to me and to you and to people, but we're going to get into our review.
I guarantee you that at some point, everything's gonna go south on you.
Ready?
And you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I end.
Commander, Mark is dead. We have to go now.
Now you can either accept that, or you can get to work.
What? A review?
A review.
We don't do this very often.
No.
But I figured that this deserved its own spot.
Yes.
Because we're talking about The Martian.
Which has been our pick of the week, both of us.
Yes.
At different times.
Because the book is absolutely amazing.
It is a fantastic read. It's actually a fairly quick read. It's like 320 pages or so.
It's not bad.
The premise is a astronaut or a crew of astronauts are on Mars. They're going through
this is in the
mission.
future.
They're the third crew to do this. And so, NASA's kind of got the this is how we do it. We know how to do this. They're down there for 30 sols, which is 30 Martian days, which is something like 28 and a half Earth days. It's a little longer on Mars. But the 6 of them are on there, and a huge windstorm crops up and forces them to evacuate because it's tipping over their ascent vehicle. And if the ascent vehicle tips over, they're screwed. They're stuck there forever.
They're stuck there. Yep.
So they abort the mission. They hop in on their way to the ascent vehicle. Mark Watney, the astronaut, gets hit with some debris and impaled and flown away through the dust storm.
And his biosigns go dead.
So
they leave him there.
They think he's dead. They try looking for him for a little bit, but they can't because the thing's tipping over. So they got to hop in it and they take off and they leave. Yep. Well, he's not dead. And he makes it back to the hab. He pulls the piece of antenna out of him and he staples himself up, stitches himself up, whatever you want to do. And now he has to survive for 4 more years until the next mission comes out with only 400 days worth of food.
Yeah.
So that's the book. They made a movie off of it.
And, okay, so let's talk about first the difference between making a book and making a movie.
Right.
Because there are plenty of things in the book that got left out from the movie.
Yes.
And normally that's a bad thing.
Yes.
Like normally people are like, oh, they ruined it because they didn't have this or they changed this in the movie. So I want to sit here and just kind of talk in your ear for a moment, people. I'm going to get really quiet and really close to my microphone.
This is going to get sensual, guys.
It's so sensual. It's okay. It's okay to have a book be different from the movie. They're two different entities, and you cannot have everything that's in the book be in the movie. You can't have some of the things that happen in the book.
There are things like the internal dialogue for Mark himself and for the different people at NASA. The way that the book is told a story is he does it all in logs.
Yeah,
video
for like
logs
the first half of the book.
Yeah. Until you get flipped back to NASA. I would say the first third. I don't think it's half. I think
it's the first third.
But and first you think, oh man, this is going to be terrible. And it's actually done really well. The author's amazing at telling the story. But you can't do that really in a movie.
No.
It ends up being super boring. You have to. So he talks about things like, here's how I did water, and he da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm going to go do this. And then the next log entry, he's like, okay, so I did it, and this happened.
Yeah.
Well, in the movie, you actually get to see him do that process that he explains. And there is not a lot of explanation for certain things. So there was a couple things they cut out.
There's some of his humor that's cut out, which can be a bad selling point for people who enjoy those lines in the book and they're not in the movie.
That was the selling point for me for the whole book, was the fact that Mark Watney is a guy's guy. He's just a dude.
Yeah.
He's just a regular old dude.
Yeah.
He's super smart and he is super good at his job, but he's still just a regular old Joe.
Exactly.
He still loves to watch football and drink beer, you know? I mean, yeah. So that was my appeal to him, was he's really, really smart and he's amazing astronaut, but he's also a normal person.
Yeah, and he reacts, a smart ass.
And that's probably the reason why I like him, because I'm a smart ass as well. And I mean, at one point in the book, you know, he swears and he says the F word back on text to NASA, and NASA's like, hey, watch your language. The whole world is reading what you're typing. He goes, ha, and then he types the symbols and makes boobs out of them. And he goes, look, boobies.
Yeah.
And like, you know, things like that happen, and they cut some of that out of the movie, which is not a bad thing, though.
And that's the thing, is you have to cut down for time. There's some there's some disasters in the book that don't make it into the movie.
Yeah.
Just some things that they just don't make sense for the flow of the movie anymore. They have to change some things for character development that happen in the book or in the movie that don't necessarily happen in the book. Now, the cool things about this movie are as follows. One, it's really scientifically accurate.
Yes.
I mean, yes, we cannot get to Mars right now. They kind of gloss over the fact that they actually have developed like an ion drive that can propel them faster.
Well, ion drives actually exist, but they're just not that efficient right now.
Yeah.
They don't produce much thrust. However, the assumption is, however many years in the future, we have conquered that problem.
Anti-gravity, the little spin thing, which they do that now.
No, that's normal.
Oh, they do that normally
that is
now?
No, we don't do it, but that is a normal thing. Having part of the
But that's the thing,
spin.
is even the science that we don't do now, it's kind of science fiction-y, still has like reasoning behind it.
So
and the guy is a scientist himself. He's actually plotted out like how missions.
One thing I
didn't
like about that is he's a botanist, but in the book he's actually an engineer.
Yeah, and he's like his secondary thing is
his secondary thing that he studied in college was botany.
Yeah,
and so although the other way they do it in the movie is he's a botanist, and I've actually read a few reviews where people are like, that's kind of unbelievable that the botanist could do all this other stuff. But they also don't talk about certain things break in the book that he has to fix, and they don't talk about that. He's got to rig up things. He has to do all kinds of weird, crazy electronic stuff that, you know, a botanist wouldn't really know, but an engineer would.
But here's the thing is, if you're sending somebody to Mars, you don't just send them up there. You don't just hire an oil crew and send them up there. You make sure that they're trained in this kind of stuff. Be like, hey, look, you see this stuff over here? Yeah, here's how you kind of engineer it if things go wrong.
So, well, not kind of. As far as NASA's concerned, every astronaut on the team knows how to do everyone else's job.
Yep.
They may not be the expert at it.
They may not be the best.
But they are proficient enough that they can pass the tests. So yeah, there's one guy that flies everything, but everyone else still knows how to fly the ship.
Exactly.
So this is kind of what is really cool about the way that the movie and the book is portrayed as well. It's hard to talk about the movie without talking about the book.
Exactly.
Too. And I don't want to be one of those. The book is better because they're both have their merits.
Exactly, and
awesome.
they're both amazing.
They're both great.
I would go watch the movie and then read the book,
or the
other way around. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you will not be spoiled either way. They kept pretty true to the story.
Yep.
They did a lot of what I actually was kind of surprised with that I liked is a lot of montage shots.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff in the book where he explains him doing things to the rover.
Yeah.
Like modifying them and putting things in them that he needs to go on a longer trip, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And in the book, it's a good couple chapters of him doing this.
Yeah.
In the movie, it's a lot of montage shots of him loading stuff, hooking things up, setting things up.
Yeah.
And
there's one point where he's drilling holes in the top of the rover.
Yeah.
And he starts jumping on it.
Yep. And breaks through it.
And it shows a comparison because they're doing this back at NASA to make sure that he can do it.
Yep.
And the guy at NASA, he jumps and he breaks through and falls through it. And then it cuts to Watney doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like they know how he's going to react to this kind of stuff.
So, and that I thought was awesome because it conveys what needs to be done and what he is doing without a lot of long-winded explanation.
Yeah.
It's story building at its best, I think.
Yep.
So real quick, it's directed by Ridley Scott, which you know from Aliens and Prometheus and a couple other things.
He does good sci-fi.
And it stars Matt Damon as Mark Watney.
Yep.
And you've got Jessica Chastain as Commander Lewis, which
She's Murph.
She's Murph from
Adult
Interstellar.
Murph.
Adult Murph. You've got Kristen Wiig as the HR representative, media relations from NASA. Kate Mara is Johansson.
Yeah.
She's the computer geek.
Yeah.
Jeff Daniels is in it. He's the director of NASA.
Sean Bean's in it.
Sean Bean is the mission control director.
Yep.
Michael Pena. He's Martinez. He's one of the crew members. Sebastian Stan. He's another crew member.
Winter Soldier.
He's Beck. He's like the doctor. You've got Askel Herney, which is Vogel. He's the Russian or the German.
The German
chemist on the team. You've got Chiwetel Ejiofor, I think.
Yeah.
He's Vincent Kapoor, which they changed his name. He's supposed to be Venkat.
That was like
Kapoor.
the one thing. That was the worst thing for you.
I was like, oh, they changed his name
Just to make it easier for people to say.
I guess.
Yeah.
But he's like the second in command.
Yeah.
In NASA.
It's great acting.
There's
like
so
good
many.
acting. There's so many moments where you're like, oh, things are going good now, and then they don't.
And then something goes south on you, like he says in the trailer.
Yep.
And at some point, everything will go south, and you've got to either give up and die, or you get to work. And you solve one problem after another to get what you need done. I can't say enough good about this movie.
It is fantastic.
I loved it, and I knew I was going to love it, even if it was only half of what the book was.
And I will admit it is kind of half. Like they cut out. They probably cut out 2 or 3 major problems that happened to Mark that he had to overcome.
But they were kind of boring problems in the book.
Sort of. I'm talking about towards the end, the crater situation with the rover. That one was kind of...
They changed a few things from the book, but I don't think that it made the movie
No, it definitely
didn't.
It definitely didn't. You know what I really like about this movie? And we've talked about this before. I'm not sure on the podcast or not, but I like how the crew gets along.
Yes.
They don't argue. It's Commander. What do we do?
Well,
you tell us what to do.
So there's a perfect scene, and this is what I got out of the scene. At one point, they're going to do something to the ship that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
And at one point, the commander says, "I need to go do this," and one of the crew members goes, "Commander," and she just leaves and says, "Seal the hatch," and he goes, "Okay," and does it because she is still the commander.
Exactly.
What she says goes. There isn't a lot of like, no, you can't do this, blah, 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 which is annoying in things like Apollo 13 and a couple other astronaut movies where they're all like alpha personalities, which is, or alpha, whatever they call that.
No, it's alpha, type 1 personality.
Type 1 personality. Where they're all very opinionated. They voice their opinions. They're very outgoing, but they're still super professional. And this is in real life. NASA doesn't pick people that are going to argue and not get along.
Exactly.
They pick people that are going to, this is the commander, and I don't care if he is from America or she's from America and you're not, you still follow their orders because they are the mission commander.
And NASA makes sure that everybody gets along on space missions like that.
And they do that, and even though they do their job, even though they joke around a lot, there's a lot of, banter back and forth, but they're all right in the middle of what they're doing. They're all doing everything they need to complete the mission, to get their stuff done.
Exactly.
At one point they're talking about soil samples, and he's like, in section 39 it's more coarse, in section 38 it's actually a lot more fine, and they're like, oh, congratulations, Watney just discovered sand. But then it's like, and then right after that, the next comment is, all systems check out on the MAV. We're ready to go for that.
Exactly.
I don't know how else to put this. Go see it. It is awesome.
So let me tell you how good it did. First of all, it's 94% critics and users on Rotten Tomato.
Yep.
The biggest complaint about it, besides it's not as good as the book, which is a very minor minority, is that it's a little boring for children,
younger viewers.
So don't take your 10-year-old to go see it. They're probably going to be restless halfway through.
Right.
It's not boring at all for people who are actually like sitting and watching and realizing what kind of situation this guy is in. This guy is confined to basically maybe 50 feet of space.
It's probably like 100 square feet. Well, it's more than that. The HAP's probably like 30 feet wide.
Yeah.
But it's a small amount of space. He's all alone.
You get to see the effects of being on rations, which is that was one of the most
rough. That was rough.
That's rough.
How skinny he gets based off of it. Just you get to see, and Matt Damon, amazing choice. Amazing choice for this. He was able to portray all the scenes where he's sitting out on Mars in his suit and kind of like, twiddling a rock between his fingers and just looking at the horizon. He's got this look on his face like, I'm going to die here.
Yeah, like he's constantly weighing the options and everything, and he looks like a guy who is. So 94% both critics and users, and it made $55 million in opening weekend, which for a summer movie is terrible, but for an October movie is the second highest ever for opening box office.
I will be buying the Blu-ray special edition director's cut that's 4.5 hours long, and
has all the extra problems.
That is how awesome. That is how awesome I find this movie. As far as scientific accuracy goes, it's probably the most scientifically accurate movie.
There's still a few.
There's
a few mistakes in it that were pointed out, but they're not. They're only mistakes because it's a plot point.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, they don't really make scientific mistakes when it's not to deal with the plot.
Yeah. I would give it I'm gonna give it a solid 5 out of 5. I want to go see it again. I really do.
I think I'm right there with you. I really can't when I thought about 4.5 out of 5, just to try and justify it, I couldn't justify it. So I'll give it a 5.
Yep.
And last thing I'll say about book to movie, the people who make these movies have read the book.
Yes.
They're not just taking your childhood stories and ripping them to shreds. They've read the book, and they know what they want to put in there, and they know that you can't put everything in there. You can't have an 8-hour movie, people.
There's a perfect example with The Mockingbird, or Mockingjay, the Hunger Games trilogy. They've read the books, but for some reason, I can't... The movies could be done way better. People need to look at The Martian the way it was done and use that. If they can take a book that is all internal dialogue.
Yeah. One guy talking to a camera. Well, he doesn't even talk to the camera in the book. It's all written on page.
Yeah, he just types it up in a log. So if they can do that and turn it into this awesome movie. And no, it is not a sci-fi thriller.
No.
There are some intense parts in it. But for the most part, it's a lot of how are we going to help him out, him surviving. It's going to be a lot of what really got me emotionally was the amount of the world coming together and rooting for him.
Yeah.
All these other countries are rooting for this guy to get home because he is still a human being.
Yep.
It doesn't matter that he's white. It doesn't matter that he's a guy. It doesn't matter that he's
from American. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's still a human being. He is one of us. And the whole world backs him up. They all want to. China releases their classified probe.
Yeah, they're classified thrusters.
They're rockets, so that NASA can use them.
Yeah.
Without, they mention it more like, well,
they mention it in the
NASA,
book. Yeah,
NASA
where
doesn't
they
know. NASA doesn't know because it's classified, and the Chinese basically go, well, he's still a human. Let's help him out. Let's do what we can.
Yeah.
And
that, in the book they do
awesome.
have a little bit of discussion like, look, we're doing this for you. Maybe you can down the line do something for us. And they do show that too. They show on the next
Ares mission.
they want a
Chinese astronaut.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there were a couple moments where my wife went, phew. Like when his helmet cracks, and everything,
and
like
it's decompressing.
So there's moments that really get you that you're just like, oh my gosh, like how's he going to get through this? And he's got such, oh my god, his emotion is just so great when he repairs the hab, and that first night after he repairs it, that he's just like every single thing that like moves, he's terrified of.
Yeah,
and he's like just like screaming
because he patched this giant hole with a piece of canvas.
Yeah, and it's like,
and every time there's a noise, like the wind blows and it rustle, and he just kind of like just shakes and like, oh my gosh, is it gonna explode again?
Yeah, his just, oh my gosh, such good emotions, people.
Yep.
So go see it. 5 out of 5 from both of us. It's a soaring success.
Yep. And if you're friends with us, I will be having like a Martian movie night.
Yeah,
where we're gonna watch The Martian.
Absolutely,
and we're gonna go, this is so awesome.
It is really cool.
So,
and go read the book too, people.
Yes, read the book.
It's an amazing book.
Please support the author. I can't wait to see what he comes out with next.
Yeah.
I don't want a sequel to Martian. I don't want another
The Martianing,
the Venusian. I don't want that. I don't want the lunar guy. No, I want to see what he comes up with next.
By the way,
very interesting.
no actual Martians. Well, he's technically a Martian.
Yeah. He colonized Mars. Maritime law makes him a space pirate.
Alrighty, let's move on to trailers and videos.
These mechanical birds will get our message out. They will go to an internet cafe and email the remaining master builders who will meet us in the secret realm of Cloud Cuckoo Land.
All right, it's time for trailers and videos. The different stuff that we've been watching this week. It came out trailer and video wise.
There was probably some stuff we missed over the last couple of weeks. We had a lot of Comic-Con stuff that we did that we didn't pay attention to the internet very often.
It's true.
But here's some cool ones that we picked out. And the first one is we've got to see the final trailer for the new James Bond movie, Spectre. And it's, of course, Daniel Craig, and it shows there are lots of there was a lot of cool stuff like planes crashing, helicopters flipping over, car chases, all the stuff you expect from a Bond movie. You have to watch it again because there's a lot of that.
Watch it again because
there's a lot of that.
All I remember was being bored with it.
But it's kind of the same premise as the new Mission Impossible. There's a shadow organization that is taking on the main organization, and it's causing all kinds of crazy stuff to happen, and all kinds of
I will tell you this, I will go see it because apparently Christoph Waltz is the villain.
Yeah, I saw that, and Corey went, I'm sold, I'm there.
Yeah,
I'll go for that.
I will go for that. I might not enjoy it, but I will.
But I'll go
for
that. Yeah. The next one, let's just do. We'll do movies, we'll do TV shows, and then we'll do like fan-made fun stuff.
All right.
So the next one is Angry Birds. Just released a trailer. So it is from Sony Pictures. It is an animated movie. It's based off Angry Birds, the game, but only loosely, I think.
Yeah. So us, like all of you, have played Angry Birds for a total of 30 minutes.
And got bored.
Uh-huh.
And then some of you have probably played forever and beat the whole thing. But
suddenly we're getting a movie, and it doesn't look like there's much conflict. I'm not really sure how to feel about it yet.
So, and that's what I came out with. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
I don't know what this movie's about. I don't know anything about these characters other than they're angry, and they go to anger management.
Yeah.
And there's a pig.
There's a pig that shows up, and it's got some okay voice actors in it, I guess.
The animation is top notch.
Yeah,
I really like the animation style actually. But go check it out. It's a little strange because I don't know how this is going to work. Guaranteed, it'll be better than Pixels. The movie.
Yeah. Oh, we never saw that.
No, we didn't. But it did not get good reviews.
That's right. It did not get good reviews at all.
Did not come out well. And that's
so
all
sad.
That's all I could remember for movies. There's a couple that we saw today, but they weren't really geeky.
So the problem with movies right now is now that it's October, everybody is trying to get their award-winning movies out. I'm using quotations a lot today, but they're...
But you can tell in your voice.
Yeah, award-winning.
Corey's got a quotation
I've
voice.
got a quotation voice. It's things like, like from the director of Silver Linings Playbook, and it's just these movies that people want to win Oscars.
Well, we've got,
and they're all coming out in this. They all come out from October to about February before the Oscars, and honestly, none of it looked exciting.
But we've got we'll do a quick 1 month rundown at the end of this of what's coming up.
Ooh, okay.
And what movies, what trailers you should look out for and should watch. So as far as TV goes, and I consider this TV even though it's Netflix, Jessica Jones is coming out in November.
Yes, and there's been a couple teasers.
And it's going to have all first season, hopefully more.
November 10th.
November 10th. This teaser it's New York, 2:59 p.m.
Yeah.
And it shows a bedroom full of like beer bottles and alcohol bottles and clothes, and it's just a trashed room. And there's a girl laying in the bed face down, and the alarm flips over to 3, and it goes off, and she reaches up, and Jessica Jones she has superpowers, she has super strength. Well, she goes up to tap it, like to hit the snooze, and it doesn't go off. And
she actually doesn't tap it at all. She just grabs the alarm clock.
I was going to finish.
I know, but go on. But she doesn't tap it.
Well, you're expecting her to like tap it, and it doesn't go off, and then smash it. Well, no, she just grabs it with her hand and squeezes until it explodes.
Which is so cool.
Is awesome. I was like, that's great.
Yeah.
So it's another teaser. We saw the other teaser before that, which was like the kind of watercolor type stuff,
which looks really cool. Yeah.
So yeah. And then some other stuff. We've got StarCraft 2 released their Legacy of the Void cinematic trailer. And if you're fans of StarCraft or Blizzard games, this is the third installment of StarCraft 2. This is the Protoss version of the race Protoss. And this is a cinematic trailer of them starting their take back of their homeworld.
Yes.
And
it's so good. It is their best yet.
I disagree.
I know, but it is their best yet.
I disagree, but it is really good. It is really good. So,
well, fans, send us your emails. We don't get any emails. That means I win.
That's not how this works.
By default, Scott.
Nope. The next one is Seth Meyers. So Late Night with Seth Meyers. They did a little skit where J.J. Abrams sent them a real lightsaber by accident.
And
he goes, great, a fake lightsaber, just what I need. And
another one of those.
He turns it on, he kind of just swings it to the right, and it cuts his bookshelf in half, and he goes, oh.
And hijinks ensue.
Lots of fun stuff.
Yep.
Really funny. We'll post it up there.
Yep.
And then the last one, but definitely not least.
No. Second.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You're
you
right.
forgot that one.
I did forget that one.
Another anime or another YouTube video that came out this week.
Yeah. From How It Should Have Ended,
yeah.
Hishi. It's a Lego Age of Ultron in 2 minutes. And it is actually very well done.
Yep.
Normally, fan-made Lego is really choppy and really badly done. Especially after you see the Lego movie and you're like, wow, this is how things should be done.
I might want to watch that tonight.
But it's the Age of Ultron, and it is actually awesome. Yeah. I loved it. I thought it was great. And then now, last but not least, is the song Uptown Funk.
Yeah, great.
If some people like it, some people hate it.
I think it reminds me of Ghostbusters.
It's very catchy to me.
Yes.
And someone took 100 different dance scenes from different movies and mashed them together to the song.
Not 100 different movies.
No, it's 100.
No, it's not, because
it's 100 different scenes. I didn't say movies.
Oh no, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm just clarifying that it's not 100 different movies.
Right.
It's 100 different scenes.
100 different scenes from movies.
And it is hilarious.
It is awesome, and it shows that
it mashes up really well.
You can dance. Anyone can dance to that song, and any dance will work with that song.
Yeah.
So those are a couple quick trailers and videos. Not a lot. Not a lot this month coming out. Yeah. Things have either already been released for November, December for the Christmas holiday and shopping and things like that,
or we haven't gotten the Civil War trailer yet.
They're getting there.
Yeah.
Do we know when that's coming out?
No, they won't. They won't tell us.
So there's a couple movies coming up that we're not necessarily excited, but we're going to go see. So Pan is coming up. That's the prequel Peter Pan one.
Yep. Steve Jobs with Michael Fassbender, which looks pretty good.
Goosebumps. with Jack Black.
We like it looks like it's going to be a little bit kiddish, but we grew up with Goosebumps.
I'm excited because it looks very funny.
Crimson Peak, if you're interested in a Del Toro horror.
Yep.
Del Toro.
Del Toro. It looks like The Last Witch Hunter is coming out in October. And that's with Vin Diesel. We've got another Paranormal Activities. We've got, if you're a fan of Gem and the Holograms, don't go see it when it comes out because the new one looks terrible.
It really does. Spectre.
Spectre's coming out. The Peanuts movie.
Yeah, the Peanuts movie.
And that's just kind of the next upcoming month, and that goes until November, the very first week of November. So we'll try to do that every couple episodes, and we'll just say, here's what we're looking forward to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go ahead and get into our picks of the week.
Aquaman, swift and powerful monarch of the oceans, with ability to summon and command all creatures of the deep. Aquaman, who with his teenage ally, Aqualad, guards and defends all that lives in the seas against the forces of evil. Aquaman, king of the seven seas.
Time for the picks of the week. Things that we've been geeking out about the past week or so. And I'm going to start off here. There was a lot of cool stuff at Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
We always spend way too much there.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of prints. I got a cool, like, Nikola Tesla Rockstar Scientist print.
Oh, the one
That's
from
my favorite.
the Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah, with the one in the background.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so
Awesome.
cool. But what I wanted to talk about is this cool thing that we found from a place called Off the Grid Games.
Yeah.
And I got their card here. And you just go to offthegridgames.com. And you can do that right now as I'm talking. You can see what I'm talking about. Basically, they take mats and they make... So for D&D, you use miniature maps where there's small 1-inch squares that you put figures on and everything. And most of them are dry erase where you write on them. You can draw like a building or something like that to show people what's going on.
It's a top-down view.
And usually they're just normal tan colored. Well, Off the Grid Games does that, but they do... actual terrain looks. So you can get like a plains or a hill or a swamp or like a desert look to it. Well, I guess desert would just be tan. But you can get these different looks to it, and you can get a whole mat of that. And that's what they have up on their website right now. But what I wanted to talk about is something that they're going to hopefully get really soon. And that's that they got buildings. And I bought a whole village set that has like a dozen huts, a dozen or like half a dozen wooden buildings. And it's got like an inn and everything like that. And basically, you just lay it out. And
stables, all kinds of stuff.
And you don't have to sit there and draw for an hour while everybody just sits there and watches you, or like 10 minutes while people criticize your artwork, which happens to me way too often as a DM. But you could basically be like, okay, you walk into the inn. Yes, you're walking into the same inn as the other ones. You know what happened in a lot of medieval days? Everything was pretty uniform like that. So... go check them out. Hopefully they'll get more of that up there soon. And it is really good work.
They've got a lot of cool stickers and stuff too, which is nice. So
yeah, they're like car stickers, not like regular just like sticker.
Window decal is what style they are. So they'll stick to a window really well, and then you can peel them right off, stick them to the next window, and they never lose they're not actually sticky. They're just plastic, and it's the type of plastic that sticks really good to solid flat surfaces. So there are things like blood splotches, and there are
crates,
and treasure chests, and all this cool stuff
and everything. I got a bunch of those too. So it's super cool, and it makes running your games a whole lot easier.
So what was the website again?
It's offthegridgames.com.
Let's check them out. My pick of the week this week is a little show that is gaining massive popularity.
Yep. Something that you showed to me, and I almost had as my pick of the week this week.
Rick and Morty.
Yes.
It is an Adult Swim show, so it's a little bit more adult-oriented. It's not for kids, but it is still animated. It is a story of a boy and his grandpa who travel the universe, and they travel through different dimensions and alternate timelines, and all kinds of crazy hijinks ensue. The grandpa's an alcoholic, the kid's a wimp. Just brilliant.
Imagine
it is so funny.
Imagine
so funny.
Doctor Who and Back to the Future in an adult comedy.
Yeah.
That is pretty much what you're getting. It's just crazy hijinks are in every episode, and
I find it's so hilarious.
Yeah, it's really
very
awesome.
hilarious. Check it out. You can find the very first seasons right now on Hulu.
You can actually go to Adult Swim for the second season
and watch them as they come out. Yep, and they have every episode up for free.
And
check them out. They're about halfway through their second season, a little more than halfway.
Yeah,
and we kind of binge watched them all over the weekend.
Yep,
and they are fantastic.
And I'm sad that there's not more of them. Like
there
that's
will
how,
be.
Like that's how great it is. It's on par with Futurama.
I think so.
Which everybody on this podcast should know, or everybody who listens should know how much we love Futurama.
We love our Futurama.
Oh my gosh, we love it so much.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So that is it, folks. It is episode 56 of the Acts of Geekery podcast.
Good episode.
Yeah.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, it is. It is awesome to be back. Hopefully we can keep a more regular schedule. We're sorry about that.
It's just, a lot of stuff happened.
Life gets in the way.
It really does.
And unfortunately, this is not our only job. If it was our only job, you guaranteed you'd have we'd have a podcast every. We'd probably have a couple podcasts every week of different stuff. It'd be like Superhero Geek Out, and the
Church of Film.
We'd just talk. We'd talk about superheroes or whatever.
Yep.
But if you want to let us know about if you have any comments about the show, if you saw The Martian and you loved it too, or you didn't love it, let us know. We would love to hear about that. And we're always checking Facebook and YouTube and things like that. So the ways you can get in contact with us are actsofgeekery@gmail.com. That's our email address. We'll always respond to that.
Yep. You can go to facebook.com/actsofgeekery and leave a comment on our latest podcast, or just leave us a wall post. We'll find it.
Send us a private message as well.
Yeah.
You can find us on twitter.com. We are at Acts of Geekery, or using the hashtag Acts of Geekery.
Yep. Or you can go to youtube.com, type in Acts of Geekery, subscribe to that channel so we can get more viewers on there. And we post each episode mostly as they come out.
Yeah, I'm a little behind because we've had a lot of stuff going on. I haven't been able to upload them, but we will. And last but definitely not least, probably the best way to support us is go to iTunes and rate and subscribe to us on iTunes. Acts of Geekery is our title.
Yep.
And if you subscribe to it, you'll get them. You can drop in like your iTunes RSS feed into any kind of podcast downloader, and you'll get our episodes as they go up. Every Sunday or Monday, whenever iTunes updates.
Exactly.
And those are all ACTS, not AXE.
And that's going to do it. That's it, Scott. That's the show.
It.
Yeah.
That's it.
So until next time, I'm Corey.
And I'm Scott.
And we're the Brothers Geek.
Keep geeking out.
What was it again? I don't remember.
That's it.
Yeah.
That works. Sure.
Right.
This is a test to make sure our microphones are
working. Hello, Internet people.
Hello, microphones.
Hello, people who might hear this at the end of the episode.
Hello, my microphone. I wish smelled like cheese or something because I'm so close to it. It'd be really nice to be like, cheesy.